But I'm just coming back to this slide here because I just talked about the integrational services, and what I wanted to also then draw out an area around operations. Now, this whole slide here and the whole philosophy of what is being driven by the market that we're in is predominantly about providing, a cloud-based solution of productivity tools that is, reacting to what people are looking for. So the productivity environments that we're working in, and all the range of messagings that you've already, I'm sure, heard from Microsoft is still very, very pertinent. But I'm not focusing so much on that here. I wanted to highlight 2 points really. That is all totally valid, and we're going to continue to drive that message of, a cloud-first, mobile-first approach to our solutions. But we also have to take on board that there are some scenarios that require an on-premise aspect as well. Retail has been the traditional aspect for the stores and the tills where there has to be something at a local on-premise level. That will actually expand out where operations is concerned to also cover not just retail, but warehouse management, shop floor, and a number of other specific workloads that are appropriate for a customer's needs around where they have to have data locally and they need to be doing some processing locally. One of the blogs by Sri will highlight the whole philosophy and the thinking that we have around what is Dynamics 365 for operations on-premise and in the cloud. So do recommend you kind of read that full background. But I wanted to just highlight that when we made our first range of announcements around Dynamics 365 and what was also at the time being referred to the new Dynamics AX, we were talking about a dependency upon an Azure stack. We've actually moved away from that. That's evolved as a requirement, and we'll actually be producing these on-premise workplaces in a far shorter time span for end customers as well. And there's a couple of elements here just to consider here when I highlight that. Short term, because the retail store is going to start becoming available from November, where we are today, and then we're going to start moving into areas of the shop floor, warehouse, and then other solutions as that level of functionality gets pinned down. Now, what this means, of course, is that from a solution perspective, it broadens out how our operations suite can in effect be deployed and be utilized. So, I won't break down each point, but you can see on those little boxes on the left-hand side of my slide there, the variations of a data center and where, those examples are highlighting a local workplace would be in effect functioning. And that's important that those local areas will still continue in their own individual workplaces. But the key thing also is that this is a hybrid solution. So we will be providing a hybrid option whereby these local solutions are on-premise, but we'll be aggregating it back up into the cloud, into Azure, to complete that financial reporting, to complete that disaster recovery, and basically complete the whole solution that is Dynamics 365 across the board. So the way I personally think of it is I think of retail and I think of shop floor, and I visualize that as being the sub-ledger level. And I just kind of expand this slide out here, but it's a little bit too much on the old animation. This is what happens when you borrow slides. But when I look at this slide here, I think of each of those segments in the left-hand corner, bottom right-hand corner, etc. I think of those as at the sub-ledger level of local financials, focusing on whatever local workplace is appropriate. We're going to replicate the whole process of the HTML5 user experience that we've come to know around operations is still pertinent, and then we'll be in effect syncing back into the cloud to complete those global financials and the activity around there that is appropriate from a governance or perhaps regulatory compliance. So that's an aspect I just wanted to draw out and highlight when I think about the broader piece that is Dynamics 365, focusing in operations.